Hello, everybody. It is Moko here. I know, long time no see, but as some of you know, I moved to France last year, and it took me some time to get settled. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know that I've been doing lives and other readings over there. It's just that didn't have the time. I still kind of don't. And then my computer's broken, so I'm doing everything on a phone and an iPad, so blah, 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 whatever. I decided to make an effort to come back to YouTube because celebrity dumb is getting real ever since, last November. And by popular request, a lot of people, they want to talk about messy celebrities this time. So I guess when anybody's in a scandal, I will read on them. And today I'll be reading on Taraji P. Henson versus Oprah versus Hollywood versus Warner Brothers versus who the hell knows. If some of you guys don't know, Taraji P. Henson is a beloved actress. Well, depending on who you talk about, and almost everybody knows Oprah. Taraji recently starred in The Color Purple, and she has made some remarks about poor treatment on set by the production companies, as well as just not being paid what she thinks that she's worth in Hollywood in general. And people are trying to blame her for the low turnout rate for The Color Purple, although I don't believe it. But I'm going to be asking a bunch of questions related to that. So you guys asked a lot of questions on IG, and I even looked up their zodiac sign so I know who I'm talking about. So let's get started. But before I get started, if you want a personal reading, you can find me at www.tarotbymocha.com. And if you feel more comfortable going on Etsy, although I encourage you not to because they're taking too many fees from my sales, I'm on Etsy under the same name. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube again. I kind of have a blog, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, first things first, is I like, what is going on with Taraji? I feel like you don't have to be a psychic. You can look at her face and tell that she's going through something. You can tell that she's going through a difficult time right now. So let's try to zero in on her, Taraji. And she is a Virgo, so I will look out to make sure I'm reading on her. Well, litigation is in her future. Right now, she's thinking of a lawsuit of some sort in order to recuperate funds that she feels like she's been owed. But this feels like funds from the past, not necessarily from The Color Purple, but from the past. And I think she's low-key telling me that her career is going to be put on hold for a bit. Yeah. Has she said, well, I'm asking you questions like you can answer me. Has she mentioned that she's thought of leaving Hollywood? It feels like eventually. Now, right now, what I'm seeing right now is that eventually she will get what she's owed. However, like afterward, once she gets this little bit of money afterward, it feels like she's just going to retire. She's going to leave Hollywood in general. Tell me about your emotional state, Taraji. What's your emotional state right now? I can see it in the shuffle. What's your emotional state right now, Taraji? Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, she is giving her best efforts right now. And in her mind, she thinks that if I don't say something now, I won't be successful. Like I have to go at this hard right now. This is the moment. And this is what's really going to put me in the stratosphere. So I'm not saying that she's only saying these things about the color purple and her treatment now because she thinks that that's what's going to make her famous. It's more like she's feeling like this is her last chance to say something to get what she's worth. But this feels like it was a misstep. It was a huge misstep. She's losing a lot of money, or maybe she has lost a lot of money in the past. And that's partially why she's speaking up right now. But it feels like it's gonna lead to her being very alone, and without support. All right, so her energy is very low. Um, it's very low. I can barely grasp onto it, honestly. But let's see. One of the questions was, what is she like to work with, and is she difficult? Because y'all know how people like to label folks who speak out as difficult, but let's see if she actually is. So first, let's ask about Taraji's personality. Wow. You want to know something? So far she's not coming across as difficult. Um, she's actually coming across as very nice. Does she have children? Sorry guys, I really don't know much about her, honestly, about her personal life. I just like her work, but I wonder if she has children. Um, it feels like she's quite nice. And she's somebody who, the adage of make lemonade out of lemons, that she embodies that energy of, oh my gosh, this table that I have. She embodies that energy of turning a bad situation into something very profitable for herself. She comes across as quite generous, honestly. She seems like somebody who is all about family, all about relationships, taking care of friends, children, even like kids that aren't hers, like maybe her best friend's kids or something like that. She just has this really nice vibe. They are saying that she can be quote unquote demanding. Like she can be demanding, she can be sharp tongued. There's a little bit of J-Lo in her. Look at my old Jennifer Lopez videos. I'm never doing another video on her and Ben again because her fans are a bit much. But the thing is she, one of her issues is that she can be, no, let me make sure that I'm getting that. So they're saying that she can sometimes, like here, these two, she can sometimes pop off at the mouth at the wrong moment. They're not saying that the things that she has to say, they're not wrong. It's just that she does it at the wrong moment, and sometimes with the wrong people. And sometimes she says things to people, namely women, who she thinks are friends, but they're not actually friends. They're in competition with her. They're in competition with her. She considers herself like a girl's girl, and she kind of has this sort of motherly vibe, but maybe younger. I guess maybe auntie. I know some women don't like to be called auntie, but I don't mean it in a derogatory way. But she has this like very homely, safe, family, mom, auntie, you can trust me, I can trust you vibe. But she can't trust everybody else. She can't trust everybody else. And sometimes she says correct things at the wrong time in front of the wrong people, and it gets to the big boss right now. So this is not an actual person. Let's see if you can see it. This is not an actual person. Usually when I draw this for celebrity readings, especially if they're a musician, this is like an executive or kind of like the powers that be. So yeah, she's in a fight with somebody, but it does feel like there's someone in the past that she crossed verbally, and she was very sharp with this person, and this person did not like it. Um, this does not, oh, actually, let's see. It was about money. It was about money. It was a man. It was a man. It's a man. This is somebody that she fought with money. She was not, look, this is like, her cards are so literal. She was not happy with the money that she was offered. She wasn't happy with it. And it also feels like she may have threatened to leave a contract. Sorry guys, that's my neighbor. It feels like she may have threatened to leave a contract because the money wasn't right. And there were just other conditions that she wasn't happy about. And she had words with this person. And it feels like this person has had it out for her since then. But she's not coming across as somebody who's negative to work with. She doesn't come across as like difficult or too demanding or blah, blah, blah. It's just that, you know, I guess they just felt like they didn't want to give her what she deserved. She spoke out, and unfortunately she spoke out to the wrong people. There are some women here, like women who are like less than she is, not necessarily women on her level, but kind of less of an impact. They went up to boss and said, oh, this is what she said, da, 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 da. And it looks like that's what happened. So she's not coming across as difficult to me, guys. She's not coming across as difficult. I actually read on her briefly on Instagram, I think at the very beginning of 2024. It's somewhere on my Instagram. I won't be able to find it because I post every day now. But it felt like what I was getting at that time is that it didn't really feel like blackballing. It felt more like agents, like lower level people. And maybe these are the same people that I saw in the past. Like these were women who were like lower, on a lower tier to her, compared to her, that they were the ones who were blocking her. So let's look at it now. Let's look at Taraji's career. Like, what's the energy right now? What's the energy in the future? And is she now being blackballed? Because like I said, I did that reading in the beginning of January, so it could have changed now. Let's see. Boy. Does she have children? Because her family life is really prominent here. Energy of her career is not great, guys. Energy of her career is not great. So, the energy of her career right now, again, money. Look, she's just like, where is the money? Where's the money? The thing about her, though, is that despite what's happening right now, is that she's still optimistic that she can turn this around, that she can get what she deserves and all this stuff. But it's looking like this money thing not being offered enough. She's still going to be frustrated by this for some time to come. And I asked, is she being blackballed? Yep. Now she is. And this is like maybe my second most powerful yes. Yes, now she is. She's being blackballed now. And it looks like they're saying, even if, so I don't know if she has producer credits or writing credits or whatever, but even ideas that she submits, they're going to be like, nah, next, pass, no. And I asked about her career, in the future, and like, again, they're saying she's still going to be unhappy with the money still. And what it is so usually this Nine of Pentacles woman, she's somebody who's self-made. In the traditional Rider-Waite, there's a huge garden, there's a mountainside, trees, blah, 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 whatever. And then there's a really nice castle in the background. And usually for me, I see this Nine of Pentacles woman as somebody who is self-made. She's financially independent. She has her own home, all this stuff, all this land, whatever. For her, she's feeling like, why? I'm a famous actress. Why don't I have that? I should have this. Why do I not have that? Why? But the thing that Spirit is telling me is that it almost feels like they're kind of saying that the way that she decided to be famous was not the best way for her to do it. And it's almost like they're saying that every single time these people didn't give her what she felt she was worth, that was an opportunity for her to leave, to do something else, because there's something else she can do that's actually going to bring her real wealth and happiness. Let me double check that. Absolutely. 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 You want to know something? She's a businesswoman. Doesn't she have like a hair care company or something? She's a businesswoman and she has like a lot of ideas. And it's almost like, I don't know. I mean, I felt such a huge chill when I said it, and I haven't been picking up on her that well lately. I've just been getting surface energy from her. But they're saying that, yeah, every time that Hollywood or whatever, every time they showed her that we're not going to give you what you think you're worth, that was an opportunity for her to say, okay, bet, I'll do something else. She's a businesswoman. But she hasn't been taking these opportunities. And the thing is that she has a lot of ideas, but then she's like, okay, but what about the money? I can't do this because of the money. And it's almost like she doesn't have, I mean, that's a real concern to have, obviously, but it's almost like when she thinks, what about the money? I can't do this because of the money. I can't do this because of that. Da, 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 da. It's almost like she kills the energy. So what I also like to do is I'm reading for celebrities, and I don't go too deep into their stuff because it's their personal life. But what I also hope for people who are watching it is for you guys to learn from what I'm picking up from them. That whenever you have brilliant ideas like that, don't just strike it down, write it down. And maybe later on you'll find a way to figure out how to do it, because with Taraji, they're sort of like, we've been showing this woman that this is not the best avenue for her to have, that she can do something behind the scenes. She can do something in a totally different industry. She can revolutionize something, but she's not taking the hit. And what it is because I'm sure she has children, or at least a child, but she's also thinking, how am I going to support my family? So this is the biggest fear underneath this money thing. Like, obviously she wants to be respected and to show people that she's accomplished, that she's an actress, like she's arrived, she's an actress now. I felt that in my Nene voice. I have arrived. She wants to feel that way, but at the bottom of it is she has so many responsibilities on her back. And this is why she's making these fearful decisions, because she's afraid for her family. That's what it is. She's afraid for her family. Let me ask something else. Oh, card dropped. Yeah, and it's the same card. This Two of Wands. She's a businesswoman. Same card. Oh my gosh. Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, Taraji. Self-sabotage. She has the energy. Look, same cards here. Father of Wands, King of Wands is the same thing. She has the energy. She has the drive. She has the ambition. She has the ideas. But, self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, deceit. This is self-sabotage here, but this is also deceit and competition. I mean, Taraji. And another thing is sometimes, oh my gosh, I have been rereading The Hunger Games, but when President Snow says sometimes it's the things you love the most that destroy you, and sometimes it's the things that you love the most that you're most fearful of, and that fear drives your decisions. So I don't know. She's coming across as a good person. I feel like, I mean, she can have her diva moments, whatever, but she's coming across as a good person who just poor decisions. But then again, if you're in her shoes, would you make better decisions, All right, now let's get to Oprah. Let me just ask in general, what's happening with Oprah? Okay, I feel Oprah. I feel Oprah. Whoa. Her heart chakra is strong. She ain't happy either. Whoa, boy, she ain't happy either. She thought people would love her. She thought people would love her still. She's not happy. This color purple, I haven't seen it, guys. I did go to theaters around Christmas to see Hunger Games, and I saw a lot of older women lined up for color purple. It was really nice seeing them in all their purple and stuff, but I didn't see it. Casting was very weird to me. But I may support it because it looks like on streaming, because it looks like this was a true passion project for Oprah, and she thought that people would love her. She thought people would love it. She thought that this would be strategic, but it's just been a disappointment. She's actually upset. She's really upset. She's extremely upset, actually. But Spirit is seeing that this is a learning lesson for Oprah as well, that color purple was not the right choice. It wasn't the right choice. Okay. Yeah. Whoever this is, this executive person, I mean, there are so many executives on the color purple that I'm not going to even attempt to try to get a name. But she's almost feeling like it took her such a long time to get this offer from like big wigs who are bigger than her. And now she's sort of like, will I ever get another chance? She will. She will in the future. She will in the future. She will. But right now she's feeling like she's feeling embarrassed. And look, I see this loss of money. This here. There's some, I mean, I don't really believe in karmic, but there's some sort of karmic lesson here. Some cause and effect in the past. But damn. Yeah, no, they're falling short. Like it flopped, guys. It flopped. Like, you know, it flopped. She knows it flopped. Let me ask her this. I mean, oh, hold on. I think this is Fantasia. Yeah, so people on the live, when I asked about this, they were sure that Oprah was the one who was blackballing Taraji. And even now, I still don't feel like she's doing it. Like there is this feeling of, like, from Oprah's point of view, yeah, from Oprah's, look at this. From Oprah's point of view, she feels like Taraji was cold to her. From Oprah's point of view, she feels like Taraji was cold to her. Again, I'm asking Oprah how she feels about it. She thinks that Taraji was cold to her. From her point of view, she thinks that Taraji was cold to her. That she was sort of like iced out of the cast. She was the one, like, people didn't like take her in. This is Taraji here. She feels like people didn't take her in. They didn't show her the right attention. They didn't show her too much love. But in terms of how she feels about Taraji, she doesn't hate her. She doesn't hate her. They're not close. Like, I mean, that's very clear. They're not close, but she doesn't hate her. But it feels like there are other issues with other cast members. And I feel like this may be Fantasia. This may be Fantasia here. And it almost feels like they're like a couple of women she didn't actually want there. There are a couple of women, they're like, yeah, Oprah and Taraji, it's just whatever. But they're like, Oprah feels a certain way about other cast members. I think that's Fantasia. Fantasia's a Cancer, right? Yeah, I think that's Fantasia. No, she was not that big of a fan of Fantasia. And she was also sort of like, kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening here? There's a different cast member, fire sign. I don't know all their signs, but there's a different cast member where Oprah's just like, why is this person here? And it's not shady. It doesn't feel shady to me. It's more like she's genuinely confused. The feeling that I'm getting from Oprah is that she's just out of touch a little bit. And like some of the things that she's expecting to happen and they don't happen, she was just like, wait, but what's happening here? So it I don't know why this is so funny to me. It's almost like she's kind of oblivious. Okay, so let me ask this other question because people want to know if Oprah was aware of what was happening on set. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She was aware. She was intimately aware, guys. So to her credit, there were things that she did fight for. There were things that she did fight for, but she was more thinking of, in her mind, like the bigger picture, of like things that she can do for herself. That like something she was just like, well, it's not really important because this is more important than your petty squabbles. That's kind of what I'm getting from Oprah. Jeez, there's so much drama on this set. She knew. She was trying to save money. She knew. She she knew. She knew. This is actually Oprah's, even though she's a Scorpio, this is her energy. She knew. Absolutely she knew. She was trying to save money. There were things that she did try to change once they brought up to her attention, but like the overall vibe that I'm getting from her is that she feels kind of above things. And again, I'm not getting like a malicious intent from Oprah, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just the way she thinks, where she's like, okay, so I have, it's almost like, I'm trying to think of an example. It's almost like when you are a director of a company and you want to move your company in a specific direction to, get the bottom line to benefit the shareholders. In order to do this, you implement certain cuts, and certain acquisitions. But in doing so, you forget that, well, y'all don't have office seats, or these people are getting sick all the time and they need disability insurance, but you cut off disability insurance. Like it's something like that, like cut the nose to spite your face, something like that, where she's thinking so far ahead that she doesn't really have the ability to slow down and see what's in front of her. But it doesn't feel like she was being this way on purpose to hurt people, but it's just like, okay, I have a bottom line. This is how I'm going to meet it. And you guys are just going to have to deal with it. And again, there is warmth to her. She did try to fix certain small things, but they were petty, not necessarily the big things that people complained about, because she was trying to save money. She was trying to save money because she's thinking of the next project and the next one and the next one, and not really dealing with the day-to-day stuff. Almost like she feels like she's a bit above the day-to-day stuff, which, if you're a billionaire, I guess technically you are. I don't know. But no, it's not on purpose. She didn't have a vendetta against anybody. It just feels like, I don't know. If any of you guys are fans of Watchmen, she reminds me of Dr. Manhattan. She reminds me of Dr. Manhattan, where the thinking is allegedly so high level that when someone says, I stubbed my toe, like, it feels like you'll get over it. All right, so I'm going to look at other questions related to the color purple. All right, so, yeah, what a mess. Let me see. Just like I feel like Taraji has been pretty upfront about what's been happening, and one of you guys said that she kind of backtracked a little bit, which we all know what that's about. But let me just see, what was it like to film for the color purple. Oh. Oh my gosh. For whatever reason, someone's energy on this color purple thing is being so literal right now. Um, there goes Taraji. There goes Taraji. She made the decision to join in on this project because she felt love for it. She felt love for it. It's not that she necessarily did it for the accolades or the money, because like this is coming from Taraji's point of view. I didn't ask for her point of view, but it's coming from her point of view. At first she was thinking, oh yeah, you know, this is a, what is it, an IP type of project. There's going to be prestige and potentially money and, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. But then she saw that there really wasn't that money there, and over time she felt like, okay, I'm gonna have to make a decision between doing something that will give me a lot of money, versus doing something that's really close to my heart. And for her, the color purple actually is close to her heart, the original. It is. So she decided to just go with her heart. But then it feels like the proposed money was actually lowered. It was lowered, guys. I don't know if she said that in any of the interviews that she's done, but what they were promised before they signed was actually lowered. And it feels like it happened after the fact. It happened after the fact. And then this whole, like, I don't know, there's like some weird sabotage energy over the filming. And it does feel like there were fights. Like actual, like... Oprah has an issue with some fire sign woman on that set. It's not Taraji. She does have an issue with some fire sign woman there. But there were like fights, like arguments. I'm not really seeing physical fights, but there were actually like arguments where people thought they were going to get beat up. That set was a mess. It was a mess. Let me ask Oprah, since she showed up, how does she... Listen, Oprah doesn't really feel anything. I asked Oprah how does she feel about the backlash. She was like, "Oh, I can turn this around in my favor," and she feels like the industry is behind her anyway. I don't know if they are, but that's how she feels. She's like, "Oh no, I can turn this into something. I can turn it into something. Don't worry about it." She's not that hurt. She's not that hurt by it. She just, like, her energy, I feel her strongly. It just feels like very much, which is technically like a zen feeling, but she feels like really above things. In a way, it's kind of good to be that way, but she feels above things. Like she's just like, no, it's not gonna harm me. But she is sad that it didn't do well. She is sad that it didn't do well. Wow. And someone had a different question. So actually, let me put these back and let me get out Taraji's card, because they do have a question about Miss Monique. Honestly, guys, this is the second time I'm reading on this. I feel like it's a confirmation that Oprah, like, she's out of touch. She doesn't, it feels like for this, she didn't mean anyone harm. She's out of touch. So let me see. Let me ask Taraji first. Taraji. Now, this is very interesting, guys. So Taraji, again, she comes across as such a nice person. I don't feel like anything really messy in her energy. She just has foot and mouth disease. If if I didn't know that she was a Virgo, I would think that she was a Sagittarius. And Sagittarius viewers, don't get mad at me because I'm a Sagittarius and I have this issue sometimes. She just speaks out of turn sometimes, and she trusts too many people, but she's a nice person. So I did ask her, how does she, like, now how does she feel about Oprah? And she's telling me that, yeah, you know, she admired how successful Oprah was and how she basically made herself, so she kind of saw Oprah as an inspiration. But that quickly turned into, like, what is going on here? She's just like, the fuck, what is happening? This doesn't seem like it's an Oprah production. Because she sees Oprah as this Nine of Pentacles, this, like I said earlier, this self-made woman who's about her business, and she's just like, what is happening here? Now, funny enough, I asked Oprah, how does she feel about Taraji now? Oh, she don't like her. She don't like her. Look at this. She does not see Taraji in a positive light anymore. She thinks that Taraji, like, in her mind, in Oprah's mind again, and like I said, she's out of touch. In Oprah's mind, she thinks that Taraji purposely sabotaged this. That's what she thinks. And I did pull a few other cards, and she's sort of like, she's kind of regretting, because I do feel like Taraji, like, threatened to leave something. It could have been the color purple. She threatened to leave. So it's almost like Oprah saying, like, what I should have done is just let her leave. But if she continued to fight for money, to just give her the money. Like, it's almost like she feel what Oprah is. I get it. Oprah is saying that because she didn't allow Taraji to leave, and because she didn't give, well, production company, because Oprah is not, you know, ultimately in charge of everything. There are multiple people on it. But because, so Taraji decided to stay, but they didn't give her the money she was asking for. So she feels like, oh, because of this, Taraji sabotaged this on purpose. Like, that's how she's thinking. She's just like, this bitch, she did it on purpose because we either didn't let her walk, and we didn't give her the money that we promised her. Because it does feel like more money was promised to the cast and then it was reneged on. More money was promised and then it was taken away. And they're like, what happened? Then I asked Taraji, how does she feel about Monique? Look at this. Friends now. Friends now. Because I think one of you guys said that Taraji didn't support Monique when Monique was outspoken about blackballing in Hollywood and Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels. I think you guys said that she wasn't supportive. I don't know. But here, now she's friends. And now she's gonna use, well, they're gonna become friends, because this is the beginning. She and Monique are gonna become friends, and she's gonna ask for advice from Monique. And I think they're gonna, like, exchange business ideas or something like that eventually as well. But now she feels more favorably, because it's almost like, okay, now I see what you're talking about. I had to learn this lesson for myself. I have to learn it for myself. You guys also asked me, how does, and I think Fantasia is a Cancer. I feel like Oprah didn't really want Fantasia in this movie. How does Fantasia feel about Taraji and this color purple mess? Aw, Fantasia's so sweet. Ooh. Fantasia's sweet. She's like, you know, she's fine. She's fine with Taraji, but I don't know. Why does it feel like the actresses, like some of the actresses, felt like they were isolated, or they felt that they were alone? Anyway, she's fine with Taraji. I feel like that they weren't, like, big friends to begin with anyway. But I asked her how she feel about the color purple. She was like, I can't wait for this shit to be over so I can, like, get back to my family, to my friends, to my, well, I don't know if she's in a relationship, but if she is, to my man. She's just like, I can't wait for this shit to be over. Like, she would work for Oprah again. She would work for Oprah again. but it feels like Oprah, I don't know. There's just some backbiting. I feel like Oprah doesn't really like Fantasia. Yeah, Fantasia is Fantasia married or something? Or is she in like a really healthy relationship? I don't know. Fantasia's worried about her family life, her personal life. Um, I feel like, you know, Fantasia would work with Oprah again, but it feels like it would have a very similar result. It would have a very similar result. Um, I don't know, because there's just something about Oprah where she just, like, she's just not there. It's so bizarre. She's just not there. Like, she's somebody who should probably be a silent backer. She's just not with it. Okay, so I already said in the beginning that that Taraji, I'll shuffle these. Taraji, it feels like she's gonna eventually leave acting or Hollywood or something like that. Like that's what they were giving me in the very beginning. But let's just ask again for the final question. Yeah. Okay. She's gonna leave acting eventually. She's gonna leave acting eventually. It looks like there's gonna be either a project or she finally gets the like the money offer that she feels she deserves, like somewhere around 2 or 3 years. But then within 5 years, she's gonna be doing something completely new, completely new. And it feels like she, I don't know, but I don't know, she feels like someone who's kind of hard to please at the same time, because it's almost like she remembers things like, oh, I had to fight for this, I had to do that, I have to do that, da, 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 da. And she just doesn't forget, so like that feeling stays with her. So like it almost feels like no matter what she gets, because she wants things in a specific way, like I want to be an actress, I want to get this, I want to be treated like this way, da 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 da, that because it didn't pan out the way that she wanted it to, she's just going to continue to be upset about that. I do feel her leaving acting. I feel like somewhere like between 2 and 5 years, she's just going to have enough of the sabotage. She's going to have enough of the competition. She's going to say that she'll be taking a break. And it feels like she'll find something else to do in between then, and she'll be quite busy. She'll think about coming back, but something bad is going to happen that's going to stop her from coming back in the way that she wants to come back. But yeah, eventually, she's going to leave acting. But look, guys, she's going to be satisfied. Maybe not like completely happy, but she's going to be satisfied. All right. So that's it, guys. I will not promise that I will come back next week, but I will be coming back this year. All right. Bye, guys. If you would like a personal reading from me, then please go to my website at www.tarabymoco.com and click on the Book a Reading button from the homepage. From there, you will be redirected to my shop, which includes categories for career, future forecasts, general inquiries, love and relationships, personal growth, as well as options for expedited delivery. I have a spread for almost every occasion, but of course, love and relationships is the most popular, with readings for your future partner, no contact, will you ever find love, how does your crush feel, as well as sugar daddies. And if you do not feel comfortable purchasing from my website, then you can find me on Etsy under the same name, Tara by Moco, where I have the same exact readings that I have on my website. And for those of you who would like to learn how to read the tarot, then just visit my blog, and there you will find a series called Learn Tarot with Me. There, I will provide definitions for the cards, as well as tips and tricks to help you become more intuitive with your tarot reading. All right, thank you guys so much for checking out my YouTube channel. I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.